is so cloudy out. I hope this light is okay. Yeah, it should be good. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to my studio. It's story time. About 5 years ago, my hubby and I took a trip. Our first trip as a couple, I believe, to the South to meet the mom, hi Mama Pam, and then have a little getaway trip for his birthday, a few nights in New Orleans, specifically the French Quarter. Ooh. Lots of little adventures, but I want to capture the spirit of this weekend that we spent together. But if you have not been to New Orleans, you've got to go. Oh my gosh, do yourself a favor. There is a very particular energy about it. I want to try to capture that feeling that we had on our lovely weekend there. So let's do it. Now, always I'm sticking with my usual suspects, my 3 brushes, 2-inch, 1-inch, and a little pointer sister, and my favorite little palette knife right there. Working on paper with some acrylics, just my usual 5 colors, red, yellow, blue, black, and white. Boom. Now, I just want to set the scene with a lot of blue, maybe a little bit of black. Just fill the space. A lot of our other paintings have been very intentionally directional, up and down, diagonal. This was kind of a kaleidoscope adventure. It wasn't all of the booze. But I want to kind of throw a bit of everything everywhere. So I'm creating these big old X's, X's, in my brush, nice and wet. And just letting this color, start with this lovely blue. Just letting this blue take over the whole space. Not blending too much. Not blending too much. Leaving some thin moments, leaving some thicker moments. We're going for chaotic good in this sense. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was New Orleans. I believe this was like the weekend after Mardi Gras. So all of the decorations were still up. All of the energy was still kind of in the air. Less people, which was kind of fun. But I'm not gonna pretend that there wasn't a healthy amount of booze involved. So I am going to get this brush nice and wet. There's going to be a lot of sense of moisture in this painting. Not just because my liver was working overtime, but some nice kind of rainy weather here and there. Not too much though. This was, I believe, our second big vacation as a couple. The first one, actually, it wasn't so much a vacation. We were guests at a wedding. Actually, a dear friend of mine, actually my oldest friend from childhood, hi Meredith, invited me to officiate her wedding years back, and my new boyfriend, gosh, we had met in April and this was November-ish. We're still newly courting, I guess. And then I did the big question, asked him to be my wedding date to a dear friend's wedding. Short version is he said yes. We went down, the wedding was in Virginia, but we had to make a pit stop through North Carolina because that's where my family was living at the time. Hi Mom, hi Dad. We had a very brief whirlwind of meeting the Lillys, this wonderful ceremony with my friend, and then back up to New York. The following year, for his birthday in September, we wanted to do another trip down south, this time to meet the other side of the family. Hi Mama Pam. So we went down to meet them in Jackson, Mississippi. spent a couple of days there, meeting and greeting. He has the cutest family, especially his mom, just a sweetheart. And then decided to take a few days, just the two of us, to have some bacchanalia in the basin. So we got there. Ooh, I think I want to mix a little bit of red into this blue. Some nice purple in there, right? I'll throw some purple in here too, around the edges. Ooh, look what that's doing. We spent a long day driving down there. So by the time we got there, I had our first opportunity to go out into the French Quarter by ourselves. It was in the evening. So I think I want to set this scene. I want to set the mood of this piece at night. So I'm going to use a lot of these blues, a lot of these purples. Just fill up my canvas. X's, crisscrosses, overlappings, blendings, not blendings. Creating this sense of kind chaos. And maybe I'll throw a little bit of black in there, just kind of creeping around the edges. Hanging out here in the corners. Especially when your canvas or your paper, in this case, is wet, a little black will go a long way. So you don't need a whole lot. If you're painting along at home and decide you want to throw some nice shadows up there, yes. And I'm letting this paper wrinkle, pop up, move around. Showing off all of these hidden dimensions, these little hidden pockets of space. Yeah, that's looking cool. Now, if you have been to the French Quarter, you know there is a particular aesthetic to the architecture around there. I remember we went to this one place specifically. It was like a little beer garden place that we sat around, this little garden patio, and all around us was this amazing, like, wrought iron, giant lattice work with the patios, the wraparound porches, all that stuff. So I'm going to challenge myself here a little bit. I'm going to go to this baby girl brush. Mix a little bit of this blue, black, purple business I've been playing around with. I'll throw a little bit of white in there too. See what that gives me. Interesting sort of smoky indigo. And I'm going to break out a new addition to my playthings. Just a simple, basic 12-inch ruler. And now that we've got all this texture, this lovely wrinkly business here, I'm going to challenge myself and try to create just a little sense of this lovely lattice work, this nice architecture that I remember as best I can. Now I'm holding my brush very light and loose in my hand. I'm dragging it very gently, ever so gently, ooh, so delicate, across my canvas. Intentionally leaving some moments where it kind of picks up, then leaves off, picks up again, in a sense of a dreamy atmosphere. Shadows, light. This beautiful mix of amber glows, neon lights. Right now, I just want to allude to the general structure of things. Doing this on an angle is fun. I think I'll use that same light color. Switch over to my 1-inch kind of medium-sized brush. I think I'll just throw some extra highlight stuff in here. Just some movements, directions of things. Let me know we got other stuff going on. So many moving bodies, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, still even on the off season, so many people there. So many colors, so many sounds. Sort of like that surreal imagery of when you are like riding through a car and all of the lights are going by super fast. Everything just sort of spins and twirls. A little like that. Now, there was one point in time in either our first or second evening, I don't know. We both love spooky stuff, and somebody was giving one of those guided ghost tours, little haunted tour of the creepier parts of the French Quarter. And we started that. We took it, we bought our ticket, we waited around, we had a few drinks, started the tour, which started in the beautiful Jackson Square, right? Yes, Jackson Square. That was it, with the big kind of, it looks like a Disney palace. Lovely building. I remember they were projecting some kind of thing on the side of that at one point. And we got a little bored and wandered off and never finished that tour. I hope everybody survived. We had fun. I am the more directionally gifted of the two of us, but both of us were pretty lost for most of the weekend. But the Jackson Square was always the place that we could always find. This big old castle right in the middle with her 3 big old points. Kept coming back to her. I shared a very romantic kiss right across from her in the night, surrounded by stars. Let's put her in there. Maybe I'll throw some of this nice lighter gray around in here too. Picking back up some of my highlights that I threw around later. Edges of buildings, elbows of people, everything kind of coming at you. A few more of these things that just kind of pull down. Alright, she's looking a little spooky, but I do want to lighten her up a little bit. So I mentioned about the combination of these nice, soft, ambient, amber lights, and all of this newness floating around. So I'm going to give that medium brush a bath. I'm going to go in with some yellows and reds. Oh, look at that. Not even mixed, just like that. Maybe I'll throw some some bits of color through all these lines and shapes that I've made. Again, to give it that sense of spiraling energy. Wild, fun, good times. And of course, there was green everywhere. Green ivy, green trees, green orchards, green bottles, but beautiful plants spilling down from all of these places everywhere. Oh, along all of these buildings, all of these signs, all these streets. Bourbon Street especially is. I love this palette knife. I use it in almost everything. I have quite a few pieces in my library, aka the gallery of unsold things, aka my apartment. A lot of pieces created using only this knife. I just like the way that she plays with the canvas. I like the way that she always creates all these little surprises, these beautiful spaces, these pockets and pops of color. Love her. And between the fireflies and the decorative lights and all the little sparkles of rhinestones and sequins, paillettes. I don't know, we've got some green, we've got some purple. We may as well round out the Mardi Gras motif with a little bit of gold and yellow in there. I'm going to find a few places. Just create little motes, little spirals of light. Hanging. Different sizes. Different placements. Like stars in the sky, they're everywhere, everywhere. Just when you think you've seen all of them, just when you think you know how many you're working with, the count is endless. This is a real manic piece. Sort of see the mania in it. Partially because my brain's a little scattered today. It's been a very busy week. I did not have a lot of time to imagine what story I wanted to share, so most of this is legit flying by the seat of my pants, but this is good. This feels like good therapy. This is a chance to get out all that pent-up energy that I've had all week, while at the same time getting to reminisce on a great experience, remind myself why I love what I do. And how even on my off days, even when things feel a little doop-de-doop-dee are out of control. I can still find a place in me that brings me joy. It's the power of an artist. That's a power I think everybody has. We just, we find access to it in different ways. I'll throw a little bit of orange in there too. Have some different color, girls. Light travels. Reds are further away. So maybe we got some red ladies in there. Distant little drops of color. And maybe a little bit of white in there too. Maybe just sort of in the center of some of these. Maybe around them. I'm sort of throwing these dots around, I don't want to say arbitrarily. There's some thought to them. Finding some room. I don't want anybody to be alone, so I'm going to give at least 3 or 4 girls everywhere I go. So big girls, little girls, tiny girls, short girls. Diversity is the spice of life, so playing around. Okay, now for the ridiculous part of the story. As we were meandering, I want to say stumbling. As we were stumbling through our evening, we were crossing the streets somewhere on Bourbon. Walking hand in hand, being cute, all lovely. There was a little bit of a pothole right in the middle, and a car coming. I bravely, heroically grabbed my husband, pulled him to safety, and in doing so, his foot snagged a little spot on the street, and he twisted his ankle. Car drove by, no problem. There was never an issue. I was just being dramatic, apparently. And also accidentally almost broke my boyfriend's ankle on our first real couples trip. He's never let me live that one down. So let's do something big and dramatic to celebrate my big dramatic moment. Our house colors are silver and gold. Well, not really. Our wedding colors were this sort of sunrise, sunset fantasy, which has kind of become a cool, fun thing. So I want to bring that sense of love into this. So I'm going to go back to my big brush. And now that I've created all of this beautiful chaos on my canvas, oh, let's make some bold choices. I'm going to load that brush up nice and full of that red. Oh gosh, let's just do some brave business. Here we go, here we go. I'm going to do it. This is my husband. This is my husband. Oh, that's so brave. Oh, that's so dangerous. No, I love it. I love it. Let's keep going. Just a big old slash of red. Maybe just the tiniest bit of black mixed in. Just along the edge there. A nice bright line. The movement, the speed, that's wild. All right, I got the burgundy oxblood for my hubby. Now, bold choices. Now, let's do some goldenrod for me. Yeah. Ah. This painting is an exercise for me in making bold choices. This is really cool. Let's touch up a few spots, bring out some few spots just for composition stuff. Really make this lady pop. Wild. Let's just give her a little signature down here. Somewhere in the bottom, SL. Okay, this feels appropriately psychedelic. This was a lot of fun to make. I hope you enjoyed it. Prints are available on my website. If you have a story you'd like to see me visually interpret, please reach out. Otherwise, be fabulous, stay creative, and I will see you next time.